I'm here where educators are showing students how prescribed burns and controlled fire works. Now, you might think that they fight fire with water, but here in South Carolina, a lot of times we fight fire with bulldozers. So they'll bulldoze out a trough where the fire can't escape.
Since Charlie Kirk's vigil here on Green Street on Monday, the Pentagon has been looking into what university officials are saying about the former activist on social media. You might think that most ride accidents stem from mechanical issues, but actually most ride accidents stem from things like riders not being the right height, weight, not understanding directions, or worker neglect.
Here at SOAR Columbia, leaders say the goal isn't necessarily to create the next superstar athlete. It's to give kids the chance to grow on and off the field without the barriers of expensive travel teams. Thanks, Osley. I'm here at the State Fair with my lemonade. We've been here all morning, and I can tell you there are plenty of cool new foods for you to try out, but our Matt Frank will have plenty on that later in the show.
This year's event has over 160 different vendors having anything from Christmas pajamas to Christmas crafts, and they couldn't all even fit in one room. They had to expand to a second room.
Rides that go up in one day sounds a little sketchy to some.
Years I did go on scary rides, and then one time on the pendulum, he got stuck, and I didn't ride him anymore.
Michaela Brown lets her sons have fun on the smaller rides, but the adult rides?
No.
But fair junkies like Ed Dame live for the thrill.
People are surprised I'll get on the really tall rides at my age. Like, really? Absolutely. I'll ride anything out here.
Dame is a manager at North American Midway Entertainment. They bring in the majority of the rides at the South Carolina State Fair. These machines are held together by thousands of pins, screws, and bolts. And here's their main secret. Thousands of these tiny pins called R-keys.
You might think that most ride accidents stem from mechanical issues, but actually most ride accidents stem from things like riders not being the right height, weight, not understanding directions, or worker neglect.
The South Carolina State Fair hasn't had a serious ride accident in nearly 2 decades. In 2008, a worker from North American Midway, Jeffrey Duclough, died after being crushed by a ride. The fair has also seen several broken bones from kids being too small for rides. Dame says accidents like these are rare.
Again, I will put my children, my grandchildren on any one of our rides. No questions asked.
The rides are inspected by a 3-party system. First, North American Midway inspects its rides daily, and operators get safety training on the ride they operate. Next, inspectors for the South Carolina Office of Elevators and Amusement Rides conduct a safety check. And finally, the SC State Fair hires third-party inspectors.
There's a lot of times there's a perception that, mobile rides are less safe than permanent park rides, which is this statistic is just not true.
If you're judging whether you should get on a ride, check to see if you're the right size, if the ride operator is paying attention, and if anything looks greasy or poorly maintained.
We're going to see to it that our employees and our guests are as safe as we can make them.
I'll be honest, absolutely not.
But for families like Michaela, all the safety checks in the world aren't going to get them back up in one of these. In Columbia, I'm Karenna Porter, Carolina News.
Across the country, youth sports are getting more expensive, and for many families, the cost of travel teams can make playing nearly impossible. But at SOAR Columbia, leaders say money shouldn't bench a child from participating.
We don't ever have to turn a kid away. So we just kind of try to create a fund for that's available and there.
And for many parents, that chance means a safe, positive atmosphere without the pressures of elite travel programs.
As far as the coaching, it's very positive.
Other parents say SOAR gives them something travel sports couldn't.
We played rec ball with our oldest son. He's 15 now, where we had to travel. Here, at least you don't have to travel. The ball fields are nice here. Coaches are actually honest, even though it was a touchdown against his own team. He's like, we were down here. I mean, that's what you find here. Christ-centered, honesty.
Perkins says that kind of support matters, especially to families like his.
I was in foster care when I was young, so it was our way to give back. We've had 31 since 2006. Adopted 4 because they're the only 4 that come up free for adoption. Otherwise, we would have 31.
Here at SOAR Columbia, leaders say the goal isn't necessarily to create the next superstar athlete. It's to give kids the chance to grow on and off the field without the barriers of expensive travel teams.
Family spending on youth sports has jumped up 46% since 2019. But for families with kids in travel sports, the jump is unavoidable.
The only way to avoid it would be not to do it. The hotel, getting the hotel rooms and the gas and the extra expense of having to eat out when we travel. That's what makes it harder.
Ligones says he's committed no matter the sacrifice. And he's not alone. Many parents say they'll do whatever it takes to support their kids' sport.
I mean, I like to think that I will, do anything I can to make sure that I put my child in the best position to be successful.
Sports psychologist Deborah Price says these rising expectations and rising costs can blur what really matters in youth sports.
Watching them persist and cooperate and learn and grow in skills. So from that, just watching them be able to say, I did that.
For SOAR families, the mission is simple. Keep kids playing, learning, and growing no matter their background, talent level, or ability to pay. In Columbia, I'm Karenna Porter, Carolina News.